Stanberry Motivational Consulting Part 3. For those of you who missed the first two videos, the first video was a brief synopsis of the creation of Stanberry Motivational Consulting. Part 2 was actually the grassroots project itself, and that was the implementation of after-school programs at the high school level. So what I did was I wrote a book as a tool for high school students to use. What I'm currently working on now is a book which will be a tool for college students to use. So how could I write a book to help high school students without writing a book to help college students? And I'm actually trying to build a bridge between high schools and colleges. So from that stemmed actually creating a model that can be presented at different conferences. And so to backtrack a little bit, the second video talked about how we were in the schools every day, and that we have a small staff, and that I have some grant writers that write the grants, and we implement the after school programs, which is great. You know, I've worked on all sides of the grant, and I've worked, you know, as a volunteer, as a site coordinator, as a program implementation specialist, and I've seen how great of the effects or the impacts they have with the schools. Schools definitely increase our high school graduation rates, the number of students that go into college, and we create the student we need to be successful at the collegiate level, and the student we need to go into the economy and be something special and stimulate the economy. So now we want to take it a step further. We're doing good in the few schools that we're in. I have enough staff to where they can actually run the programs themselves and write the grants and keep things going. If I need to show up, it'll just to be to speak, or you know, do a book signing, or help out with chess club, or host an open mic, or do a poetry club with some of the students, and that's always fun. I always miss that. But now things are growing to a level where, you know, my attention is needed elsewhere. And one of my frat brothers, shout out to Eric Burrows, asked me if I had a model. And I said, yeah, I have a model in my head, but I haven't actually developed the model the way I need to and patented this model. So what I'm doing now, aside from, you know, writing a book for a college student and other books that I'm working on, is perfecting this model. And it's going to be the Stanberry Academic Enrichment Model, which I will begin to host conferences and speak at these conferences and present this model. And I want to bring together high school administration and college administration. And I want to bring them all in the same room, and it will be a setting like at any university, any conference that you will register for, and you guys are in the same room together, building that network so that you can work together in creating the student we need right now in high school, the student we need to come to college, and the student we need to go on to serve in the community and in the workforce. And so with this model, I'm giving you my experience and other things that have worked from other people's experiences. And just a few of those things to touch on are having tools, like a book for a high school student, or a tool or a book for a college student, and also how to implement a grant effectively and efficiently, you know, where you can save money, you know, what type of staff to have. You know, a lot of times it's best to use a college student who needs an internship, or a grad student who needs volunteer work. You know, they need these things, so it's a fair trade-off, and they're just as motivated, and they have that time to do that, as opposed to paying extra money for a teacher who already has a lot on their plate, or agendas, you know, that they're trying to accomplish, and other college professors who have other things that they're doing. So you use these untapped resources, which is something that Dr. Russ Owell talks about in one of his books. And I think that's, you know, something that, you know, may have been out here, but just maybe not being presented in the right way. Another thing is providing an incentive for students to participate in these after-school programs. You know, what is going to make a student stay after school every day, you know, when he has all these other things going on in his life, he or she? But when you provide an incentive, something simple as an educational field trip, like, you know, one of the things we did for the Gear Up grant was, you know, take the kids to D.C. or New York, you know, and learn about the legislative and judicial branches, you know, and going to Chicago to check out, you know, some of the grassroots projects Obama worked on. So you need to provide an incentive for the students. You know, you need to learn where you can save money with the grant. You need to know what type of staff to have, and you need to have some substantive materials, you know, and things that students can identify and relate with after school, so that these students actually participate. And so when you're turning in these attendance sheets, and you're turning in these results of increased attendance, GPAs, high school graduation rates and the number of students that go into college, you're getting those results. That way you can renew your grant every year. So my motto is going to be designed to guarantee that if you use it effectively, and appropriately, in collaboration with the networking you build at the conferences that I'll be hosting, you can guarantee those results. And you can renew your grant every year, and you can do that much more for your university, your high school, or your community, or for the children that we're working with. So, but the one thing that I want to set aside, the conference that I'll be hosting, on an annual basis everywhere, is that I want you to leave here with all types of tools. Yeah, we all go to conferences and we leave with those professional tools that are great, but we're all humans as well. So other things that I've been working on is like a love story. It's a true story of myself and how my wife to be came together. Also, I'm working on a book of poetry, which helps, can become a coping skill for expressing yourself when faced with challenges. I just finished a Words of Wisdom book, which are words of wisdom that I've gained over the years from other people in my experience. So these are other tools that will help you in all the other fields of human endeavor. And one thing my fraternity focuses on is achievement in every field of human endeavor. So I'm honored to be a part of that, and I actually have this as a part of my mission and something that I'm building into the model that I'll be presenting on. So I just wanted to give you guys an update of how this organization has grown, what our objectives are for the future, and where we see ourselves now, and how that's going to all play out and manifest. Again, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you, the people. Again, I'm just a facilitator of empowerment, so I'm just happy to be here. But what I finally realized was that when you are doing something that you're happy doing, it's something that you've been called to do, then there is no right or wrong. It's real. It becomes real, and so there's no motive in it for me. Then when my children grow up, they'll be able to collaborate with other great thinkers and other people that we've helped create and build with and nurture and cultivate their minds. It's all about the future, and if we can make this world a better place, then I feel like this is my way of contributing to that. So it's not about money with me, and there's still no competition. I may make a little bit of money on your registration fee, when you sign up for the conference that you'll be coming to, but it's well worth it, because I'm going to leave you with tools. I'm going to leave you with things that actually work, and a model to use, and other tools that you'll be able to use in other parts of your life. So again, I want to thank everybody for their support. There's a lot going on, and I couldn't do it without you. So again, thank you, and continue to be motivated.